orange light.
Okay, so it technically doesn't turn on, but the little orange light turns on?
Yeah, but it blinks.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that's not good.
No, I think that,
That could be
it's refurbished to begin with, so.
right, that's usually the motherboard. I did warranty repair exclusively for like 3 years. So my assumption immediately would be that you're,
Well, I just want you to
yeah,
declare
I'll
it
plug it
dead.
in and diagnose it
And
or
if you do declare it
declare
dead,
it dead, yes.
I just want you to scramble the hard drive.
Got it, so you just want me to, I could smack it with a hammer and hand it back to you, or I could have it professionally recycled. Either way. So, let's do this.
Well, if you take it out, I can
Yeah, that's-
recycle it.
yeah, you just want me to remove that for
But,
you?
but I want you to clear the hard drive. I guess that's what I'm asking you.
Right, well, so if the drive's still functional, the easiest way to guarantee no one's gonna get the data is just to smack it with a hammer.
Okay, all right.
Otherwise, it's time consuming to do random data to the drive. And unless you're a government official, you'd have to be targeted for people to wanna have the skill to get after you after that. Let's see here, that power cable you just handed me, where did
I think it's on your right side.
No, it's right here, got it. So, I'm going to plug it in and see,
Of course, it's been banged around. Maybe it would start, but I doubt
hey,
it.
you know what, that sometimes does.
Mhm. And I have banged it around, so
Right.
I think it's dead.
Let's
But you
see.
just have to confirm it's DOA.
Okay, well, this fan turned on. Yeah, that one, so I'm gonna go online and check 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1.
What are you listening for?
2. I'm watching the blinks. The blink code, the number of blinks is going to tell me what the problem is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Dell makes this job a little easier to diagnose. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah. So now I'm just going to go online and see what a blinking of 3 individual blinks is.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
So let's go to Dell Optiplex 3 blinks, blinking 3 times. All right, power button steadily, amber, and blinking 3 and 4 lights. There we are. Okay, no power button. Well, it powers on. Let's see here.
that doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah, well, if I figure out this is just this is not, oh, this is Dell's website. Let's see here. Remove all memory. It could be bad RAM. Which Optiplex is this? This is the Optiplex.
Yeah, why don't you write that in?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because the model number can change. It's a 9010, Optiplex 9010.
I could have told you that.
It's all right. 90, 10, 3, there we go.
Space.
Yeah,
Orange light. Okay, that's
yeah, that's the power button itself. Unplugged all peripherals.
it doesn't even turn green anymore.
Right. Okay, bad motherboard, which I'm thinking, or it could be memory or processor. Bad processor is extremely rare. I did warranty repair for 3 years. I literally only replaced about 5 CPUs. RAM and motherboard failures are far more common. So what I'm going to do right now is remove the RAM. So I'm going to unplug it and just hopefully.
So it's not the motherboard?
It could be, but in order for
Chances-
me to finalize, yeah. So the code isn't telling me one or the other. It's telling the code is telling me one or the other, not this or that.
But you were saying that usually doesn't happen with the CPU on
The CPU
these
itself is a very rare failure. I did literally somewhere between 3,000 and 5,000 repairs for Dell. Literally less than 10 actual
Yeah,
CPU
okay, all right,
replacements. So it could theoretically be that. In which case,
So you're gonna take out the what?
The RAM. If you're really lucky, the RAM itself could be the problem. Alright. This RAM is buried deep. There we go. It's not that difficult to get at, but what I'm going to do,
So how do you check the RAM?
I'm just gonna take out 3 of the slots at one. So I'll take 3 of them out.
Oh,
Yeah. And now I can actually just plug it back in.
oh, that's interesting.
So now I'm not getting an amber light. So potentially one of these chips is bad. So now it's giving me, that beep is just telling me that something changed. So
Okay.
now at this point we got a solid white light. So we have a different result. So it's also telling me I've removed the drive, so I can't see the boot drive. So I'm actually
So how do
just-
you know, you're just gonna check which one is bad?
Yeah,
One
and
by
in
one?
fact, we're so close to the beach, a lot of people don't realize how dirty the air is. It could be that there's dust in between the contacts, and oftentimes I'll put
Well,
the
I
memory
live pretty
back.
close to the ocean too. and
Right,
It's
no, I've
it's a
got,
lot of sooty area.
yeah, I mean,
I think you've been to the house. It's-
yeah. Yeah, sometimes these machines, little dirt is the issue. So, I'm going to just put
Well,
the
that
RAM
seems
back.
like it's encouraging.
Yeah, because potentially this reseating of the memory could be a problem. Or the fix, I should say. Okay, so now I put the RAM back. It's buried in there, but ironically, it's actually easy to get at. A lot of these machines,
So that's a hard drive that you have in your hand.
you have what's called an SSD. This thing was probably upgraded at some point. This machine originally came with a hard drive just because of the age. I can tell
Oh, I
what it
see.
should have shipped with.
Mhm.
In fact, this thing might be so old I did warranty repair on it at some point. Not this exact model, but
I don't know, I think that's the first one that I brought in to you.
right,
The other ones have been HPs.
got it.
And thank goodness I have my father-in-law's old HP. So I'm not without computer support.
Right,
We just got back from an ocean cruise
yeah,
and nothing worked. Neither one of the computers worked, but
all right.
actually the old HP worked, but I couldn't get my email, my Hotmail.
Oh, all right.
And ended up there was some sort of goddamn privacy guardian.
Oh, well, that's
So I
weird.
finally turned that off and I was able to get the Hotmail.
Right,
I could get all the other, I have a Yahoo account and a Gmail account.
got it. Okay, so now I'm gonna put everything back. And let's see if it beeps. Well, that might have been a fix. All right, good. So now I'm gonna plug a monitor in, because at this point, we didn't even need a screen to see anything on the screen. The error code on the power supply was enough to tell me a lot. So at this point, all I'm gonna do is plug in.
Okay, well that's
VGA.
that's encouraging.
That's why this monitor's right here. And now let me plug a keyboard in so I get proper function. How about, oh, let's use this one. Plug in this keyboard. Now I'll turn it on. See, that's the screen we're looking at.
Yeah.
I turn it on. Oh, it's on the display, on the wrong mode. Let's see here. Gotta turn on VGA.
What mode was it on?
It was on HDMI, which is the more modern
Oh.
analog. There we are. Okay, there we are. No memory was detected. That's a last. All right, F1 key. All right, this might have been a fix. Yeah, there we go. We fixed it.
Amazing.
There we
You're
go.
good.
So-
You're good, Chris.
That's what I try. Dell does make it a little bit easier with the power.
Well, that's
adapter.
wonderful. That's
So here we
wonderful.
are.
It was just a dirty.
Probably a dirty chip. The chip probably had some dust in between the contact and the motherboard.
Well, okay, I know who to call.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your services.
Sure. This thing
Not
works.
too difficult to find you, but the parking was a little tough.
Yeah, we got curbside parking. I'm telling people to park over on Nob Hill. Unfortunately, that means you're walking half a block. So that's
Well, I squeezed in and
got it.
behind another car.
Got it.
So
So there we
I'm
are.
not out of the driveway area. So.
Good. This thing works fine, right? Otherwise, there's no other issues, right?
No.
All right. Well, then I guess we are good. Let's see.
Well, I'm glad that I'm glad that I can keep it.
Yeah. And then my best recommendation is that you should be backed up because any machine can fail at any time. So if you care about your data, cloud backup is great, but also have a local backup. Yeah.
Which one do you recommend?
Well, Carbonite is headed out of the business for cloud backup. If you're paying for 365 from Microsoft,
Well, no, I'm not, but
you could.
Is-
So
is-
how many computers do you have in the family?
well, 3.
Okay, so if you paid $100 a month, a year, that covers up to 6 devices.
So you think I should sign up for because I get notices all the time to sign
Right.
up with 365.
So the $70 one, if that's the one they're shoving in your face, is for one machine. So that's basically Office. That's Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote. And Outlook if you wanted to use that program. But that basically also includes the cloud backup. So you're paying for Office to be renewed.
Well,
every year.
what other cloud backups are there?
Well, every major company has their competing offer. Like Dropbox is one of the first companies that were only in the business of syncing other devices with other devices. So Microsoft allows you to use their software because it's all built into Microsoft. All the Windows and the
Now, or should I
OneDrive.
be backing it up in Dropbox?
If you're using Dropbox already, then you can just continue using
I
it.
haven't used it for a while, but I've
Right.
got it.
So I tell people to go ahead and back up to whatever service.
So what
they
about
were-
backing up to a hard drive, external hard drive?
That's the other thing. So if you get a virus, like an encryption virus, you also want that physical backup that's not physically plugged in. So what I'm telling people to do is for $50, you get a terabyte USB drive and swap them out every few weeks. So you always have a backup sitting on the shelf. So that way, if you got a virus that infects your cloud backup, you can still refer to it as only slightly out of date backup that wasn't affected because it's
Huh.
unplugged.
I've got several external hard drives.
Right. So swap them out, put a sticky on them, and date them, label exactly what it is or the name of the computer it belongs to.
All right.
I tell people these drives are so inexpensive; it makes sense to have 2 per computer.
So what software do you actually need for the backup?
Well, like Carbonite is its own software. Dropbox is its own software. Microsoft has its own built-in software. That's the OneDrive.
Yeah, OneDrive.
But when you back up, or when you buy a USB drive, Windows itself is also going to have its own built-in software to handle it. So I wouldn't recommend adding complexity if you can get away with it. That's the other argument for using Microsoft because it's already Microsoft.
What is the capacity of OneDrive?
1 terabyte, you can add more.
Oh, okay.
Or if you only do what?
All right, so a backup to OneDrive, is that what you call it?
Yes, and
What is OneDrive anyway?
OneDrive is Microsoft's backup.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you didn't want
Some
to
of my files end up in OneDrive, so I'm not quite.
well, you get 5 gigs for free. That's how that works. So if you have a minimal amount of data on that account,
Yeah.
well, then that's what might have happened. So what happens,
Okay, all right.
what you could do is if you didn't want to spend the whole $100, you could just pay for $2, 100 gigs, and that way you just get for the $2 a month, literal $2 a month
Good
back
idea.
up to the machine that
Okay,
way.
all right.
So OneDrive is this account here.
Yeah.
A shortcut here. This is why I wanted to show you. OneDrive is this little cloud icon.
Yeah.
Where is it? It's not showing. Oh, I'm using it there.
There
So
it is.
OneDrive personal account up to date.
Okay.
So I can be sloppy about where I put my stuff. It could be on the desktop. It could be the documents folder. and it can just back everything up seamlessly.
Hmm.
And if your computer ever
Alright.
blew up, you just go to a new machine and download it, and that way it technically could eliminate the need for someone like me because your data just shows up on the new machine.
Now, is OneDrive in the cloud itself?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
That's the Microsoft cloud?
Yes, that's the Microsoft cloud. iCloud is the Apple cloud. Dropbox is its own cloud. Then Google has its own service, and there's a few others.
Okay, I got you.
So there we go.
All right.
So if you care about this data, just sign into OneDrive and you're good.
All right.